Hello YouTube, Beanie from the bedroom here, you guitar junkie. So, I did make a part two where I was just going off the hook, ranting and raving about the handful of negative comments that I had received. So, I figured let me just make another one where I'm not as angry in it. So, this is it. This is part two. This is the follow up, the conclusion to my guitar fetish Stephen Brown sound guitar, SBS guitar. Despite the fact that it didn't have stainless steel frets as I would prefer, especially when you can get it on a Harley Benton guitar, I still thought the guitar was pretty cool looking, sounding, and playing. So that's why I pulled the trigger. And then when I was showing the reasons, the two main reasons why I returned it, one was because the wiring was exposed in the back and I had to tape it up and it was touching on, I guess, other wires, especially the blade, the five-way blade switch. And the fact that I had a crack in the back of the body, which everyone said, oh, big deal, it's in the back of the body. And the other thing is that those are the two main things. The other thing that I was nitpicking on was the Floyd Rose, where it was routed into the body. It was not routed center. The Floyd Rose was center, but there was more of a gap on one side than the other. So when I saw those three things, that was just, so three major things instead of two. And I'm not going to stop the tape and start this all over again because I should have said three from the get-go. Then I nitpicked about everything else. I just went crazy on it. And I got the replies, or no, I should say I got comments. I don't know what I'm talking about half the time. You should know that by now if you've watched more than three of my videos. So I had gotten comments saying, oh, well, what do you expect from a cheap guitar? You spent $400, you're complaining. Why don't you have a soldering gun if you've been playing for so long and have so many guitars? It was just those stupid kind of comments that I just got frustrated with, and I just stopped replying to it because I was basically, I was copying and pasting my one comment for the first stupid comment, and I would just repeat it over and over again. So yeah, my reasoning is that no matter what I pay for a guitar, they're all coming from the same factory. Everything that's coming from China, Taiwan, Vietnam, North Korea, no, South Korea. Strike that. Rewind it. South Korea, Mexico. A lot of the Epiphones and the Squires and the Schecters and the Ibanezes and the Chauvel's are all made from the same factory. I think Chauvel still comes out of Mexico on theirs. I can't get it down with one arm. I still can't use my right arm because of my surgery. So it doesn't matter to me where they're made, who made them. It just, if I can get a guitar that I really like, that's at a good price, I expect to get that guitar, take it out of the box, maybe do a minor setup on it and start playing it. I don't expect to be working on the frets. I don't expect to be rewiring it, fixing the wires, soldering the wires. I don't even have a soldering gun, and I have no intention on doing that. And the other thing is that the crack in the back, like I said, I've said it before, I have people that they'll drive an hour and a half to come check out a guitar, and they have tools to check the fret, how high the fret is, the fret wear, the neck. I've had them open up, the guitar, check out the back after they got home and say, hey, there's a piece of duct tape over the ground wire on the tremolo. And I honestly forgot to tell them that, the solder, when I got it, the solder broke loose and I don't have a soldering gun. So I taped it and they were like, no big deal. But I like to be straightforward and honest with people when they come in to purchase a guitar for me. So yeah, and I've had a guy that came and I had an old Joe Satriani, I think it was a 540 first model that he was playing before they said, "Oh, let's put his name on one and make a signature guitar so we could make a lot more money." And I had just a little stress crack in the clear coat, not in the paint, just in the clear coat. And I've seen that before. And I've had a guy look at that and go, "Oh, forget it. I don't want it." So I've had a guy say, "Oh, the frets are too low," whatever. So and I don't want someone to open up the back and then go, "Oh, there's a crack here." So for those reasons, again, I look at a guitar for the resale value. If I have an issue with a guitar and they give me a discounted price, I'm still concerned about selling that guitar down the road if I ever do. Most of the times I do, because they're going to say, "Oh, well, there's a little chip here, there's a scratch here, whatever," and I got the discounted price, so I'm already selling it as a discounted price, and they're either haggling me to come down more than what I'm already practically giving the guitar away, or they just walk away from it. So yeah, for those reasons, and I was getting people, "Oh, it's a $400 guitar. What do you expect?" And this and that. So yeah, I expect a lot. This was like $88, I think. This was like $80, $79, $80 and change from Tomans. And the quality of this guitar, I had a Martin, an old Martin guitar that was all mahogany like this, and I wound up selling it because I couldn't get my arm around it before my fifth surgery. And this one I can get it kind of around, but it's not comfortable. But the other ones I couldn't even do that. I couldn't do this on a guitar. So I sold it and I missed it because it had a nostalgic value to me. It looked like very close to my very first acoustic classical guitar that I had gotten when I was 8 years old for my birthday. So, I regret selling it because now I could kind of get my arm around and I could kind of play it. It's not comfortable, but at least I can do it. Before I couldn't do it, you know, due to that giant scar right there. So yeah, I didn't have to do a fretwork on here. It's got electronics with a jack, battery, right there, and I plug it in and I go. This was like 80 something dollars. Let's just say under $90 for this guitar. My IYV from Amazon, $148. Nothing wrong with it. Fretwork is impeccable. The pickups sound great. It's a beautiful guitar. Fit and finish, I've got no complaints about that guitar. I didn't have to rewire it. I didn't have to do anything to it. Same thing with my other, I've got an EART guitar, stainless steel frets. No issues with that whatsoever. That's a $400 guitar off of Amazon. The Harley Bentons that I've had more than a dozen, and the one that I keep out is my $119 SGT 400 Classic gold top with classic humbucking open pickups that sound great. I didn't have to do a fretwork on that. I didn't have any buzzing on that. I didn't have to do any wiring. If I want to replace pickups, at my discretion, because I just want to change the pickups. And what I normally always do is I always change the keys and I put locking tuners on there. Only because I don't like to wind a string, or I don't like to mess with that luthier knot. I just want to put it in, tighten it, tune it, and snip it, and it stays in tune a lot better. But yeah, I didn't have to work on any of those guitars, and they were under $400, still under $400. The guitar that I got was for $379, and it came to force and change because I went with the case, because the case was $79 if I ordered it with the guitar. The case was gorgeous, but I had to ship the whole thing back with the guitar in it because that's the way it was shipped to me. I wish I could have kept the case, but they charged me for shipping the guitar to me and shipping the guitar back, that, even though they provided the label, even though it was a defective, damaged guitar. I feel that, they should have reimbursed me my full return dollar amount, regardless, because I wasn't returning it like the slick guitar that I had because I didn't like it. The slick guitar that I had, I didn't have an issue with it really. I just didn't like it. I just didn't like the sound of the pickups. I didn't want to have to change, a whole 3 sets of pickups. Um, and it just didn't float my boat once I got it in my hands and played it. It's just, I'm not saying it wasn't worth the dollar amount. It just didn't work for me. So when I shipped that one back, yeah, they deducted the shipping. But yeah, because I'm the one that just said I don't like it. And I was even arguing with them back then, like, why should I pay to ship it back to you if I don't like it? And why should you deduct shipping it to me if I don't like it? But that was the policy. I didn't know the policy was the same for damaged, defective guitar. So FYI on that one. So yeah, so this is just a follow-up that, I had wanted to do, because when I played the other one back, I was like, oh man, I sound so nasty. I was in a bad mood. I was pissed. Um, and the other thing is that I say it all the time. I don't know. I just know from experience of what I've been through and what I've done. I've had a great guitar teacher. He was kind of like a luthier. He used to build guitars, but he built kits. He would get like a wall moth, if I'm pronouncing it right. He would get the body and the neck, and then he would have it custom painted by someone, airbrushed, and then he put it together with the electronics. And he was a shredder, a master player, and Mike Lusso from Long Island. And he taught me how to set up a guitar with a Floyd Rose in the 80s. 80s, was it? I think it was late 80s, early 90s, when he had his own store. I've known him since he was working in the rock shop in Family Melody in Patchogue, Long Island, New York. And he could do a whole complete setup, cut all the strings off with the Floyd Rose, and he could do that within 12 minutes, because I do believe I timed him one time. And he showed me how to set up a guitar. So I know how to set things up. I don't know how to, nor do I want to start rewiring guitars and changing pickups. I'll do easy stuff like changing the tuners or doing the setup, changing the strings. When it comes to anything else, I want someone to do it for me. So, and when I buy a guitar, regardless of how much I paid for it, I expect it to come out of the box and to look as good as it did in the picture and play good. And sometimes they're a little hard to play, but you deal with it. You look at what you got it for, and what everything that's in the guitar, if it's worth it to you. And most of the time, the way they're making guitars now, they're good. They're good guitars. You don't have to spend a fortune. And then of course, I had other people saying as well, just get a Gibson or a Fender. Well, yeah, I had Gibsons and Fenders, and I still have a Fender. And I've had them all from the custom shop. I had plenty of custom shop Fender guitars and a couple of Gibson custom shop guitars that were 57 reissue. That was a limited edition, 68 custom shop. So I've had them, and I don't have them anymore. Once the market started going up and the prices were going up on these used, I sold them because I didn't play them anymore. I'm not a guitar collector. I'm just a guy that likes to play guitar, and I don't know what I'm doing. I figure it out as I'm going along, and so that's why I did this channel, not only because my wife said you're retired and get a hobby, but because, like I said before, Guitar Max, the first time, he's the one that opened my eyes to Harley Benton guitars. And then when I was looking at guitars on Amazon, the IYV, I also have a second IYV. I have the one that That's the Paul Reed Smith copycat with the vines in the neck. It's got a tremolo system. It's a set neck, and they also use 2 of my videos on Amazon to try to sell that guitar. So yeah, so when I saw other YouTubers making videos on these guitars, I was like, well, and they're playing them, and they're telling you, hey, these are pretty good for the money. That's why I started. I was like, let me tell people that I know that, hey, I got all my buddies up in Long Island, all of us musicians and all the professional musicians, we all know one another, and just to spread the word, like, hey, look, you don't have to spend $6,000 on a Gibson, Murphy guitar. Look at these. They come with stainless steel frets. They come with the roasted, baked, flamed, caramel, whatever you want to call it, maple necks and fingerboards. Where you going to get that? With if you look at it like Ibanez or Schecter, you're looking at or what was the other one? Chauvel. You're looking at $1,200-$1,400. If you get a signature model, you're looking at $2,000. The Guthrie Govan, that the first one that I ever noticed that had a baked maple neck and fingerboard. Those things, they're like $2,000, $3,200. So you can get something that's just as good, that's a lot cheaper. You don't have to break the bank just to get something. But again, if you got a great job and you've got FU money and you don't mind pissing away a couple $1,000s on a guitar, then go right ahead. That's your prerogative, because I used to do it too. I won't do it anymore. The most I would spend on a guitar would probably be $600 to $800 nowadays, if that. But it really has to be pretty good for me to say, okay, like the Chauvel that I have up here, that's a SoCal Pro. See, I mess it up. But that guitar was $600 used from Guitar Center, and yeah, I had a couple of issues, but Guitar Center, they took care of it. It didn't cost me a penny. It just cost me 3 trips and dealing with a technician that was bragging on how great he is, but in the long run really wasn't. So, but yeah, that's that's the most I spent on a used guitar this year alone. Going back a couple of years, it would be different. The Schecter that's behind me, I bought that. That thing goes for like $1,200-$1,300 now. I bought that. I think it was from Guitar Center at Christmas time, free shipping, and it was like 20% off. And I believe I paid like 8 and change for that guitar at the time, because it was just new on the market, just came out, and they had that sale, and $800, that was for a brand new guitar, and that thing's made in South Korea as far as I recall. So yeah, there you have it. I do have expensive guitars, and I've had much more expensive guitars. I had a Paul Reed Smith that was like a $4,000 guitar that it was so pretty and so like in mint condition. I was afraid to be the first one to put a dent or ding or scratch in it. So I took it out once a month. I played it for like maybe 5 minutes, checked the tuning, put it back in the case. And I was like, what am I doing with this? So I put it up for sale. And I had someone offer me a vehicle to trade down here in Florida. It's amazing. I had someone offer me a Kia Sportage to trade for the guitar, and then I had a guy offer me a couple of bars of gold, and I checked the price of gold, and yeah, the gold bars were worth more than what I was asking for the guitar, and I said no, how do I know if it's real gold? I don't want to meet the guy at a jewelry store or a gold exchange place or a pawn shop. So he wound up cashing them in, and he wound up coming and buying the guitar after telling me I'm the guy that offered you the gold. So yeah, it happens. But yeah, I won't go that crazy anymore. And if I do, make sure that you say something in the comments. And that's another thing. I didn't like the guys that were attacking me because I was complaining about an inexpensive guitar, and they were saying, "Oh, you're buying cheap crap. Spend a little bit more money, get something better." I didn't mind that as much with me, but it aggravated me a bit. But what really set me off is I didn't like them arguing with other people that were viewing the video and leaving comments. Uh, I didn't do it for someone to come and troll my channel so that they could, have a war with someone, in the comment section about what they think, because it doesn't reflect what the other person's saying. So yeah, that was not cool either. But anywho, so thanks for watching. Yeah, like I said, I've got another guitar coming, and uh, again, I said I probably wouldn't buy it from this place, um, but the I did, and I'll see what happens when I get it. So it's supposed to be something that's new and exciting, even though it came out a little while ago, but it's really gaining traction now. And the one that I bought that's on its way, I don't see anyone with the same color and configuration with the neck as the one that I ordered. So mine might be one of the first that's got the certain color, certain neck, and the appointments that are on it, that the things that are on it that are makes it a professional, great guitar. So hang tight for that. And thanks for watching. And I thank all the people that's been subscribing to my channel, because I don't ask or beg for someone to subscribe to my channel. I don't do this professionally. I don't make a living off of it. And I sure as hell don't have guitar companies sending me free guitars where I'm all giddy over it and I won't have anything bad to say. That's what I think happens in some cases. I pay out of my pocket for every guitar I have, so if I don't like it, you're going to know about it. And if someone sent me a guitar, if IYV sent me a guitar for free and asked me to do a video on it, I'd be just as brutally honest with that guitar. And if they didn't like it, I'd say, okay, well, if you don't like, I'm going to keep my video up because I want people to know. I'll send you back the guitar. That's how I am. Yes, that's the kind of person I am. That's the principles I have. So thanks for watching, everyone.